President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
You think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you? All right. Thank you all. Promise, Mr. President, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, and the floor is yours.
Toddlers in the kindergarten from a drone attack, a drone explosion.
Yeah, so another classic Joe moment just before his big meeting with Donald Trump. Again, you can see why the Democrats were so keen to get rid of Biden on the campaign trail. They didn't want him saying these sort of gaffes day in, day out during the campaign. They thought, yes, Harris lost, but there was fears and actual polling showing that Biden would have lost by an even bigger margin to Trump for these exact reasons. Look, now Trump and Biden coming together for lunch at the White House, a sort of traditional handover of power when power shifts between the two political parties in America, they tend to come together after the election and do everything they can to help that transition. Obviously, that didn't happen in 2020 because Trump was obviously disputing the election all the way through the transition, right up to January the 6th when it was confirmed by Congress. So the sort of the norms were all suspended, well, not really suspended. They sort of thrown out the window quite violently. In 2020, whereas this is actually returning to a more sort of traditional handover of power in the United States, starting with the sort of meetings at the White House. Obviously, Trump and Obama did this in 2016. It was very awkward. It was tense. There's amazing pictures of Obama's staff sort of frowning as Donald Trump turned up. But it's just something you got to do. Look, Biden's obviously, we saw him last week with a bit of a spring in his step. He looked like he wasn't the guy that just been beaten by Trump. This is what the Democrats wanted. They handed it to Harris, and in his view, she blew it. There's a lot of bad blood in the Democrats still boiling over the Obamas and the Harrises and the Bidens are all at each other's throats on who's to blame for this. But I suspect we'll see, the usual sort of grinning handshake pose. I imagine it'll be quite awkward. Obviously, these two have been incredibly rude about each other privately, but it does feel like the Biden administration is going to do everything it can to sort of bring the country together. The Democrats were given a well and true tonking by the electorate. They've got to listen to that. So, Biden will go to the inauguration in January, which Trump obviously didn't do in 2020. Obama obviously went to Trump's inauguration. So I think we're sort of almost after this crazy few months in America, this is the closest we get to a return to normality of how things are normally done.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
You think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you? All right. Thank you all. Promise, Mr. President,